I love refinishing antique furniture. The texture, the grain. Also a big brunch guy. Banana walnut pancakes, mouthgasm.
Hey gang, I'm JP and welcome back to Talking The Orville on Egotastic FunTime. Today we're going to have a great time talking about episode 11 of The Orville, New Dimensions. This week we find the crew enjoying a lively social gathering in the mess hall. Lieutenant Dan is trying to cozy up to John and Gordon as they wait to see the outcome of their latest prank come to fruition, this time played on poor Yaphet. Kelly discovers John is actually the second smartest person on the ship next to Isaac and rallies for him to be promoted to the new chief of engineering, much to the objection of Ed, Yaphet, and John himself. Captain Mercer loses his confidence when he discovers that he was only given command of the Orville because Kelly put in a good word for him. The ship is forced to hide inside a two-dimensional spatial anomaly wherein John is unwillingly put in charge of the science team to figure out how to keep the crew alive, as well as come to grips with the fact that he hasn't been living up to his potential. Much to the surprise of Dr. Finn, Bortus discovers something that his iron stomach can't digest, and Isaac adopts a new kitten.
Are we bonding?
As you could probably guess, I loved New Dimensions, you guys, but I do have to say the plot seemed a bit two-dimensional and it kind of left me flat. Get it?
You guys should get to know me better because I'm really funny.
I was really impressed that the show attempted to give us a visualization of what the second dimension might look like, which is the kind of stuff that I love about good sci-fi, you guys. A new perspective on the universe. I was really happy to see that the plot point was really just a vehicle for the true focus of the episode, Lieutenant John Lamar. Nothing beats a great character development plot line, especially in this first season, you guys, because much like in episode 2, Command Performance, where we really get an inside look at Elora's character, or episode 3 about a girl, where we realize that Bortus is more than just a Worf clone. These were the two episodes that made us realize that the Orville wasn't just some Star Trek spoof. It's safe to say that we fell in love with these characters pretty quickly in the season, but really we didn't know much about them. So when they actually take the time to help us learn more about these people, it's really special. So yeah, it turns out Lieutenant John Lamar, who really likes to hang out and fool around all the time, is a genius. He didn't want to be singled out, so he grew up just downplaying his smarts so that he could fit in. I'm assuming going forward, we're now going to see John down in engineering instead of sitting on the bridge next to Gordon. And I'm kind of bummed out about that, you guys. I mean, because from like the beginning of the series, John has been one of the standout characters for me because he just seems so real. And I'm going to miss not seeing him and Gordon together on the bridge. But this does mean that we've got a slot open on the bridge to bring in a new awesome main character. I know who I'm voting for. Sweetness. The B storyline in New Dimensions was Kelly accidentally letting it slip that Ed was given command of the Orville only because she put in a good word for him. And as most things that have to do with Kelly and Ed does overreact a little bit, losing confidence in himself, and now he's worried that he'll second guess every decision he has to make, wondering if he even deserves to have the job in the first place. Every time Ed and Kelly have these personal dilemmas with each other, we really get to see how much they do love each other, even though they drive one another crazy. And I'm sure you see, just like I do, that when Kelly looks at Ed, we can tell how much she loves and respects him. But she can also call him on his crap. And that's a quality that not only comes in handy as a partner, but also as a first officer. Oh, and hey, how about this little kiss on the cheek? As badly as I want Ed and Kelly to get back together, I kind of hope for the sake of the show that it's a long time coming. John and Gordon, as a prank, steal a piece of Yaphet and place it in the buffet, you know, like you do, to see if anyone would eat it. When Bortus arrives complaining of having digestive discomfort, unknowingly having consumed Yaphet's missing piece, Yaphet has to go inside him to get it out. And with the relationship on the rocks, I wonder if Bortus plans on telling Clyden that he had to be entered by another dude to get the jelly out. We also got another sneak peek at how a gelatinous life form works. It's here that we see that every part of Yaphet's body is every part of Yaphet's body all at once. When he forms a tendril and shoves himself down Bortus's throat, and trust me, that was like the cleanest way I could have phrased that, you guys, he can smell and see what's going on in Bortus's digestive tract. Later on, we see Yaphet working at his station in engineering. He extends 3 arms to work the station, but doesn't have to look at the console because his arms can see the display. We also find out that Yaphet isn't just some side character used for comic relief. He's actually very serious about about his career aboard the ship and gets angry when they start considering John for the promotion when Yaphet is next in line, but comes around at the end as he begins to see John's potential. I haven't seen a gelatinous character story arc like that since the Mucinex Mucus guy had a family reunion.
Uncle Max and Harriet, Tom, Dick, Harry, hey, you brought everybody. It's a Mucus family reunion.
In New Dimensions, the Orville introduces us to something I don't recall ever seeing visually portrayed in a TV show before: the second dimension. The idea that there's an entire universe out there that exists in two-dimensional space. They have length and width, but absolutely no height whatsoever. I mean, how would societies and planets in space exist in such a universe? The Orville represents it as a beautiful Pac-Man 80s Arcade-tron video game on shrooms that we can't communicate with or really understand what we're seeing because our modes of existence are incompatible. I love the visual they use when a ship would enter or exit the 2D anomaly. You can see the three-dimensional ship enter into a 2D form and vice versa. When the away team board the Horribilac ship to find the captain dead from entering 2D space and that he was smuggling 20 crates of Krill plasma rifles, they realize that the arrival of Krill ships looking for the stolen weapons is imminent. John devises a plan to use a quantum shield to protect the Orville so that they can hide in 2D space to avoid the Krill, which of course works great for a while, but the spatial anomaly closes while the Orville is still inside it, and they need to be tractor beamed out by a shuttle pod before everyone gets flattened like a pancake.
Oh, you guys talking about pancakes?
No, it's something else.
Ed makes the rash decision that he needs to be the one to pilot the pod for some reason, while Lamar makes adjustments to the quantum shield the entire time. So I guess Ed needed to prove to himself that he was worthy of command by doing this himself. But the daring plan works despite some bloody noses and upset stomachs.
You okay? You alright?
Let's take a look at what we learned this week in New Dimensions, you guys. In the 25th century, everybody still loves a good buffet and gumdrops. Chief Newton is leaving to help design a space station and doesn't seem to understand what pop is. Lieutenant Dan is in desperate need of a friend. John is a genius. It's nice to see smart brain conference meetings again with the crew like they used to do in Star Trek. Ty and Marcus still exist. The ship should really consider getting adjustable chairs so Bortus doesn't have to look like he's sitting on a toilet all the time. John enjoys his hobbies.
I am very fond of drinking beer and passing out, yes.
The Kalon have an affinity towards tabby cats. We get a reminder that Elora is basically a superhero. Yaphet isn't afraid to play the race card. Gordon fears the fourth dimension might be watching him while he hugs the donkey. Captain Mercer made a Doctor Who reference. He talked about Doctor Who. Doctor Who exists in the Orville universe as a TV show, but still. Hey, does that mean that Star Trek also exists in the Orville universe as a TV show? What? And we learned that Ed still kind of sucks at coming up with cool one-liners.
Let's get flat.
Sorry.
All in all, New Dimensions was another great episode for me that I plan on revisiting from time to time, just like I do with all my other favorite shows throughout the years. I love the character development of John and Yaphet. I was impressed that the show tackled the theory of two-dimensional space and gave us a visual representation of it to marvel at. I marveled so hard. I love seeing Ed and Kelly make up with a tender moment and having John given an engineering team that seems to be happy with their new boss. It just feels so damn good. And that's another thing I love about the Orville, and it's been missing from television for so long. After spending an hour with the Orville, I feel good. I feel hopeful. I look forward to tomorrow. Now, of course, that all goes away the instant I look at anything on the internet, but for 1 hour of my week, the world seems all right. I'm hanging out with my buds aboard the Orville. Of course, next week is the season finale, and we begin the long wait for season 2. Next fall is a very long time away, you guys, and it leaves my mind vulnerable to absorb all the darkness out there. I mean, my brain getting ever and ever hotter under the fires of rage that surrounds us always. The flames of discourse, the purging of civility.
Bring out your dead. The monsters are coming. The monsters are here.
Good thing we have the season finale to look forward to. Yay, Orville.
Dude, it stinks down here. What the hell you been eating?
Okay, that's it. That's all I wanted to talk about today, you guys, and I talked about it. I did. How about you? What did you think about the Orville's trek through the second dimension and John becoming the new chief engineer? Who's going to take John's place next to Gordon as the ship's navigator? You can let me know by joining the conversation below. Special thanks to all the Talking the Orville superfans who help support future episodes of this show by pledging on Patreon. Patreon. I couldn't do this without you lovely people. Heart emoji. Thanks to the rest of you for liking and subscribing to my stupid show. It really does mean the world to me. I'll see you soon, and as always, I hope all your times are egotastic fun times. The monsters!
Egotastic fun time, we're gonna have a great time. Egotastic fun time, give me all your money. Give him all your money. You will find it funny. Just give me money. I love money. Give me all your 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 money.